I woke up around 7:15 to get ready for work. But then my stomach really hurt. And then I thought that maybe I'm gonna have the runs again because, I'm lactose intolerant. And yesterday I had the runs because I went too ham on eating butter. And so that happened. And so I thought maybe today was a repeat of that. But no, it was not. It was much worse. It was menstrual cramps. So now I'm just sitting in bed in pain as time's flying when I just want to get to work. Ugh. So the pain medication finally kicked in and I'm able to finally get up and get to my car and go to work. So when I work on the weekends, I only round at the hospitals. I don't have to do outpatient clinic because the outpatient clinic is closed on weekends. So today I'm rounding at 3 hospitals. And when I work weekends, I work on Saturday and Sunday. And it doesn't mean I get 2 weekdays off. It means I work 12 days straight. I work at least a minimum of 1 weekend a month. So that would be 12 days straight, right? Or sometimes when a month has 5 weeks, then I will work 2 weekends a month. So that will be a total of 24? Yeah, 24. 12 plus 12 is 24. 24 days. Yeah, so don't get me started about my work schedule. I need to renegotiate. And plus, I'm on salary, so it doesn't matter if I work more or less, really.
Thanks for choosing Starbucks. What can I get for you today?
Morning. Can I get an iced triple espresso in a tall cup with 3 pumps of white mocha?
Okay.
Can you stir the bottom with the white mocha, please? And then,
yeah.
and then can I get the sweet vanilla foam on top?
Okay.
And then can I get a chocolate croissant?
Yeah, would you like that warmed up?
Yes, please.
Perfect. And I'm sorry, you said how many more pumps of white mocha?
3.
3 shots and 3 pumps white mocha. And then we'll do that in a tall cup over ice with vanilla sweet cream cold foam?
Yes.
All right. And we have your chocolate croissant going. Can I get you anything else today?
No, that's all.
Perfect. Your total is $9.35 at the window.
Okay, thank you.
I finally arrived at my first hospital. I am roughly 35 minutes behind schedule today because of the menstrual cramps this morning. So let me tell you what I actually do when I get into the hospital. So when I go into the hospital, first thing is I log into the EMR, I print out my patient's list, and I scan each patient to see if there's any new consults. Consults just means that I'm seeing my patient for the very first time, so it does require a lot more time and effort. It means I have to do a full HPI, physical exam, assessment plan. So after I finish scanning my list for any new consults, I start rounding. Rounding just means I literally walk around the building to each patient and see how they're doing. During this time, I also talk to the patient's nurses to see if I need to know anything else. And then after I finish rounding, I will go to the charting room where I sit and start writing my notes. So a couple things I look at before I actually write my notes is I go over the patient's vital signs, their most recent lab work or any imaging, as well as read over all the nursing notes, read over all the other physician's notes. And then after I finish charting, I head to the next hospital. Of course, I can also not chart in the hospital because I have remote access at home, meaning I can access the EMR system at home, so I don't have to physically chart in the hospital. So that's also nice. But I don't like to bring work home, so I prefer to chart in the hospital. So I couldn't even round at the first hospital because I couldn't log into my EMR for some reason, and I was on the phone with IT for over an hour, or for nearly an hour, and they couldn't figure out the reason why. They'll tell me they'll call me back, but they don't know the estimated time frame in which they'll call me back. So I can't do anything because I can't access the patient list. I can't see the patient. I can't even chart. So I contacted my supervising physician because we normally split hospital, right? I do 3 and he does the other hospital. I can't access the chart, so he's gonna round at this hospital today. So now I'm gonna move on to my second hospital. Frustrated. I just finished at the second hospital. There was a total of 3 patients. All 3 patients were new consults. The EMR is down, so I had to do all the new consults. I had to chart it by hand, or I had to write the notes by hand. Handwritten notes takes much longer, like triple the amount of time just to write it, look through the chart, to look at the labs, imaging. Yes, so now I'm gonna head to my last hospital. I just noticed how depressing I look just doing this video when I'm working. So I finally went home. The last hospital I rounded at only had 1 patient, so it was pretty quick. And now I am on my way to get lunch with my brother. He's driving me. We're going to get some Japanese food. So when I work on the weekends, how long it takes, it really depends on patient volume. Normally is usually a half day for me, but on occasion it's a full work day. It could be longer than 8 hours, it can be around 8 hours, it can be less than 8 hours. It really depends. More patient, the longer I stay. So having less patients is always great for me because it means less work. I get to go home earlier, and it means that less patients are less sick, which is a good thing. You best believe I'm out here working while Hurricane Hillary is coming to California. Damn, Hurricane Hillary out here working, and so am I. Yep. I was heading to work today, and I was taking my normal route to go to the hospital, which involves driving on the freeway. And because it was raining at the time, I was going extra slow. But then suddenly I noticed that my car was sliding, and I was like, oh shit, I'm like hydroplaning. So, you know, your first instinct was, or at least my first instinct was to press on the brake. And of course I heard the click, click, click sound, right? And I immediately let go of the brakes, because I remember too that my brother said when you hydroplane you should let go of the brakes. And so that's what I did, and that's when I felt the traction again, and that's when I was able to, you know, brake slowly and then press on the gas and move myself back into lane. But I slid over 2 lanes, and luckily there was no car near me. And so at this point I was like, during the incident I was really calm, right? But I was like, oh shit, that was really scary. And I kid you not, a couple minutes later it happened again, but this time it was much worse. This time my car like slid down like 3 lanes, and it was going in a zigzag formation, and my car was swaying because the wind was blowing my car, and I can literally feel myself swaying in the car. And you know, once I was able to feel the traction again, I was able, you know, to pull myself back onto the lane. At this point I was still calm, okay, but I was internally dying on the inside, and I knew I had to get off the freeway immediately. But you're not gonna believe this. 1 time? Nah. 2 times? Nah. Let's throw in a 3rd time. And the 3rd time I hydroplaned, it was the worst one. I completely lost control of my steering wheel. My car was sliding. I was on the farthest right lane, right? My car just slid across the entire freeway, and it was sliding really fast. And I was trying to turn the steering wheel, right? But I couldn't. And then I can just feel my car spinning really fast, like 360 spin. Everything happened so fast at the same time. Everything like happened in slow motion. And honestly, the only thing I could really recall was that when the car was spinning, I turned my head to the left, and all I saw was the freeway divider, and my car was spinning towards that, heading in that direction. And honestly, at that point, I thought I was going to die, legit. Like, this is it. This is endgame. Like, I'm gonna freaking hit this divider and bam, I'm dying. And it's really sad because during that moment, I was closing my eyes. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna embrace the impact and maybe it won't hurt so much. But I don't know what happened during that moment. I was like turning my steering wheel and I was able to make my car spin again. And then this time it landed in the middle of the freeway, but it landed diagonally. And I was completely in shock. I was just frozen. My hands were trembling. I was trying to find the emergency button and I couldn't even like find it because I was so terrified. And I remember just sitting there and then seeing a bunch of car like drive past me and then the driver looking back, staring at me, and I was just staring at them. And honestly, that was the most terrifying experience of my life. And then so honestly, I was just sitting there for a couple seconds, like trying to think like, okay, what should I do next? And so I need to get off the freaking freeway. And then so I looked to my right though. To the right side of me, I saw that there was like a downward slope, right, with no railings or anything. And so my thought process was, what if I was to start driving again and hydroplane again and like somehow slid off that slope and then my car like spin and then I'll die, like for sure. But that didn't happen, thank goodness. I was able to safely exit the freeway and park. And I called my brother and I freaking cried because I was like, I was gonna die on the freeway just now. And during the incident when it was all happening, you know, when I saw that my car was heading towards the freeway divider, I was thinking, yo, I didn't even tell my mom I love her today. Like, if I'm gonna die, can I at least get some, you know, last words in? Like, can I at least tell my mom I love her? Like, honestly, just talking about it and having to think about it is terrifying to me. Like, I feel like I could cry. Like, and even after this traumatic incident, I still had to go to work, right? Because when I parked my car safely, it was in the parking lot of the hospital. So I had to freaking calm down, collect myself, go into the hospital, round and go see my patients. And to top it off, when I went in the hospital, my EMR was not even working, right? I couldn't even access any of the patient's charts, couldn't look over any imaging, any vital signs, nothing. And then I was on the phone with IT for another hour just trying to fix my EMR. So when I was actually done with the hospital, I was driving home, but I took the local route, right? And I held the steering wheel so tight. And when I was driving, all I did was pray in my head. I was like, please just let me get home safely. Like, I don't want to die. But I made it home in one piece. But you won't believe this. When I got home, I found a stray black kitten sitting on my porch. The black kitten, right? And the thing is that this morning when I woke up to go to work, I normally wear really bright color scrubs, right? But today I was like, maybe I should just wear my black scrubs. So I wore black. And then the 3 incidents happened. And then I came home and I saw a black cat. Like, damn. And you best believe, I told my brother, Jimmy, hey, I love you. And I never tell him I love you. But honestly, that incident shook me up so much. And honestly, with that incident happening, I come to realize, literally, life is so short. Tomorrow is not promised. Anything can happen. You can literally die tomorrow, right? And so, yeah, I FaceTimed my mom. I told her I love her. So yeah, so that was my day. Remember to tell your loved ones that you love them. Okay, maybe tomorrow will be better, but I'm never ever going to drive on the freeway on a rainy day ever after this accident. It's not worth it. And if you're driving fast, you need to slow down. Like, it's not worth dying. It isn't. And honestly, work does not pay me enough to die. It does not. But to conclude the story, I am completely fine. I am still here to tell you my story. I did not get injured. I did not crash into anything. And luckily, during those 3 incidents, no cars were around me either. So.
Wait, am I not putting it in right? Oh yeah, your back wheel has nothing, Jane. Look. It doesn't even go in.
Today my brother is going to drive me to work. He's going to drive me to 2 different hospitals plus 1 clinic. I cannot be behind the steering wheel after my traumatic, the traumatic incident that happened yesterday. Right now I am getting pho with my brother, who has been driving me around all day.